Hello and welcome to my craft room. It's time to crack on with the with this month's Scrawlr challenge. So November 2021, the Scrawlr challenge is creating calm. This month's box is all about finding calm in the creative process. I think this is a really open-ended challenge, and I've got a whole list of ideas I've been jotting down, different things you could do, and there's probably 2 or 3 that I'd really like to try. I think they'll all be quite quick and easygoing, so I might even be able to do all of them, but probably not all in this one session. For me, I think I find calm in the creative process when I haven't got to think too hard. I quite like doing things where you're using repetitive mark making, like in Zentangle, for instance, or just a process that is just repetitive and kind of happens accidentally, a bit like when you're watercolouring and that kind of thing, where I quite like doodling into the accidents. So that kind of thing I find quite calming. Also colouring in a something that someone else has designed, or colouring in a picture that I've done myself, that's quite calming. So the ideas I've got, the 3 ones I really want to try. I'm going to make my own colouring in page. It did occur to me that the colours we've got, so we're using these, amongst other things, the supplies we had this month, with these two whole sets of 6 of these markers, which have got a brush at one end and a fine nib at the other. We've got the Tokyo set and the Venice set, and I think there's scope for making a lot of different flesh tones from these colours. So what I think I'd like to do is swatch again, particularly with flesh tones in mind, and I'm going to create myself a little colouring page, like a sea of faces that I can then colour in all different colours. They might even have face masks on, that might be fun. And then I'm going to do another idea was just I like doing just repetitive line work. We've got a lovely fine liner in the kit this month, so I'm going to do like a peaceful, calm looking face with long flowing hair that I'm kind of doodling to, so that'll be quite meditative. And what was the other one? Oh yeah, and negative painting. That's the other thing I want to try, and that's something normally you see it done with watercolour painting, and you build the layers, you paint in the negative space, and with subsequent layers the negative space gets smaller and darker as it goes back. I'd really like to try that, and I think I could do it with a combination of using the pens with water, and they're going to use the actual markers straight to the paper as it gets darker, and then using the fine liners to add the detail. I'm not sure I'm going to do all 3 of those things in this one session. I'll probably do one at a time, but that's kind of the rough idea I've got in my head. In case you're wondering who this chap is sat behind me, that's a puppet I'm in the middle of making. He needs his finishing touches. Yes, he's the alter ego of a Twitch friend of mine called Commander Aconite, and down there having a little nap down there is his wife, Snow Kami. I'm going to be finishing them off this week and boxing them up and sending them off to their permanent home in time for Christmas, I hope. So yes, in case you wondered who he was sat behind me. But without further prattling on, let's go straight to the desk. This was the sketchbook we got in the box this month. Here's my lovely new Scrawlr pencil case, which fits all my nice. I'm going to use it each month to keep the supplies in while I'm using them. And the nice thing is you can have it all like that. Then when you're ready to use it wherever you are, you just go like this, and it makes a little pot that stands up on your desk. So yeah, we've got all of these markers. So it was 12 in all. Just make sure I haven't lost any. No, and I can't, as I said, I can't remember which one came from which set now. But if you were interested to know, I did do an unboxing video, and there are lots of other unboxing videos for this for a Scrawlr box on YouTube. They're really nice, these, because you've got this quite a nice fat brush marker at one end and a really fine liner at the other. I'll be curious to see how well they last. I just thought they were a very reasonable price. I think they were only £6 something for the set of 6, was it? No, £5.29 for the set of 6, which seems incredibly cheap. So I hope they last really well. I mean, that'll be, yeah, if I'm really pleased with them, I'd definitely buy these again, because what a good price. and I love the range of colours. It's quite unusual. I think just to warm myself up, I'm going to see what kind of flesh tones I can create with these. After a bit of experimenting, I've worked out a better way to do a swatch chart for my skin tones. So I'm going to take all the colours that I think might be good for skin tones, and I'm going to run them all along here and all down here. Quite interesting little practice at how they blend together. I think I'm gonna, because I'm feeling the urge to see how these are with water now, so I'm gonna have a go at my negative painting next. And the first thing I'm gonna do is just do a whole mixture of colours here. Shall I just whack them all on and see how they work out? Yeah, let's just do that. Let's go with the flow of experimenting with the supplies and not worrying about it too much. So for each colour, I'm going to scribble a little bit on my glass mat. Some of them are going to probably work better than others. Oh, wrong end. And the first thing I want to do is just put a base layer down, so this isn't all blank white anymore. I'm getting a strange thing where the tip of the nib, there's no ink in the tip of the nib. Maybe I just need to keep putting them downwards in my pencil case pot to let the ink go back into the nibs again while I'm doing this scribbly thing. So it's very pale, but that's fine at this stage. We will build up more depth of colour as we go on. So next thing is to pencil in some leaf shapes. Right, so I've got some little leaves sketched out on my background now. That was also very calm, didn't have to think too hard. And I'm going to go in with another layer of paint now. I'm not going to think too hard about what colours I'm using or anything. Although I'm finding that I need to use the kind of darker colours to make much of an impact when using these with water. So now I've mixed some water with it, and I'm just going to paint around these leaves that I've penciled in. Go, and that's my second layer. I'm going to go dry that now, and now I'm going to pencil another lot of leaves going underneath the ones that are already there, and then paint the negative space again. I think I'll use the pens with water and a brush for one more layer, and then I'll go on to using the markers direct to the paper. and off to dry it again. Okay, I'm going to draw another layer of leaves going behind the two layers I've already done, and then I think this time I'm going to start going in with the pens themselves, with the pens direct to the paper. Right, so I've finished off filling in all the negative space. Just spotted one I've missed there. I did lose a couple of leaves along the way. Lopped them off by mistake. Momentary lapse in concentration. But it doesn't matter. Okay, so one thing I'm going to do now is use the fine liner end of these markers to just add some detail. Well, this is very calm and meditative, just going through and doing the lines on these leaves. So I'm going to go through and do lines on all of the leaves, and then I'll come back and show you how it looks when I'm done. Right, I think I'm done with that. Quite enjoyed it. I think I'd probably like to try it again with watercolour paints and watercolour paper, but it's quite a fun and sort of quick, easy way to try out the basic technique. I don't think I'm going to go ahead and do the trees one now. I'll wait and do that on the watercolour paper. I want to try my second idea now. So now I'm going to create a little sea of faces, probably wearing face masks, and create my own little colouring in page. So a nice clean page. Okay. I'm just going to pencil it out first, and then I'll ink it in and it'll be all ready for colouring. Finished inking in all my little people. I'm going to colour them now, and I think I'll do the faces with using the water and a brush again, because otherwise they're just going to be the colour's going to be too intense. So that's that one done. That's quite fun. Quite enjoyed doing that. So the last thing I wanted to do, I'm going to have to turn over another page so I don't want to see that, was I was just going to do a kind of peaceful looking face with kind of flowing hair that I can doodle into. So I'm going to do a pencil sketch now. I'll stop recording while I do. I'll just do that off camera.
We've created an artificial pocket of time around you, so it's probably playing tricks with your equilibrium. It might take a little while to get used to it. You let me know if it gets any worse.
Mm-hmm. Beam us directly to the Enterprise bridge.
Aye, sir. Energizing.
Well, I think she's done. She looks very calm. She looks very peaceful. I had a lot of fun blending all the colours and then doodling into the hair. She didn't turn out how she looked in my head, but I just really enjoyed the process, and I think that was the point of this challenge for me, was to just enjoy the process and not worry about how it turned out. I think I gave these markers a good run for their money, and I really enjoyed doodling into the sections with the fine liner. Fine liner's still looking okay. I'm not sure how much longer the pens are going to go on. It'll be interesting to see. The tips have got a little bit mashed, which is a shame, but overall they performed, I think, really well for pens that were only £5 something for a set of 6, you know. So that was I've ended up doing all of these pretty much in the same session. I've just come back and done the wording, finished the wording off this evening. So I pretty much did all 3 of the ideas I had in my head in one session yesterday evening whilst binge watching Star Trek. So there's my Create Calm. There's my meditating lady. There's the colouring in page with all the people wearing the masks. Sadly still quite topical. And here was the first one. I don't know why I'm turning it around because it really doesn't matter which way up it is, but I kind of feel like I want to see it that way. And this was the kind of my take on a negative painting technique, which it's made me want to try it again properly with watercolour paints and a bit better quality paper, because the whole process was quite fun, but I think watercolour paint would really make it come into its own. Okay, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed watching that, and I hope you're enjoying the Scrawlr box if you got one, wherever you are. I think it's a very open-ended challenge this month, and the supplies in the box gave us a lot of scope, so it'd be really interesting to see what everyone else comes up with. Thanks very much for watching today, and I will see you again really soon. Bye.